Hello everyone, welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Duncan DeAeth and it's great to have you with us. The Tzu Chi medical relief team who went to Jordan to hold medical clinics for Syrian refugees has returned to Taiwan. We'll hear their stories. Tzu Chi volunteers in Japan are celebrating 25 years of the Foundation's presence and love in Japan with a blessings ceremony in Tokyo. And in Hualien Taiwan, inmates at Hualien prison have been working hard to prepare a sutra adaptation ceremony and purify their hearts. The 2016 Tzu Chi Jordan Medical Relief Team has arrived safely back in Taiwan after helping organize medical clinics for Syrian refugees in Jordan. We'll hear a couple of stories from the volunteers who made up the team, including a pair of Tzu Chi volunteers who are also sisters, who really feel for the plight of the Syrian refugee children. First, we'll meet Dr. Ye Tianhao's family, who all went to Jordan to see firsthand the sufferings of the refugees for themselves.
If it wasn't because of the invitation of his father, Ye Yuzhi could never have imagined how difficult life is for the Syrian refugees living at the camp, and how much joy he can gain from seeing a smile from the refugee children. The young man is quite glad he didn't follow through with his original plan of going to England with friends.
They are having fun and shopping while the people here are suffering, so I don't say much in our group messages.
My son joined us this time to come to the free clinic for Jordan and gave up his vacation to be a volunteer. I'm proud of him.
Dr. Ye Tianhao has joined many overseas free clinics throughout the years, and this year his entire family joined the team. His wife, Chen Hongyan, has always been supportive.
Our affinities with our children or husband, that's only one life, so I hope by doing this we can connect more.
Meanwhile, a sister pair was also a part of the volunteer team, Liao Miaojing and Liao Lingjun. They have often participated in overseas disaster relief operations before, but this time it really hit home.
Without a country, they are without a home. Without a home, there is no respect of life. Without respect in life, you will do anything just to survive.
In my opinion, my nephew is living in paradise, while the children here live in such desolate conditions.
The 8-day free clinic schedule was packed for the volunteers. Even on the day of the departure, the medical team still held a free clinic in the morning. The effort the Taiwan team put into helping the Syrian refugees has moved Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Qiuhua to tears.
My brother and sister really put in a lot of effort, and even with my many demands, the volunteers still met them. When I saw how much Dharma joy they gained, I was also comforted in knowing I'm not alone in doing this out here.
Also a member of the Tzu Chi Jordan Medical Relief Team was Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital's Superintendent Jian Xiu-xin, who's been preparing for a sutra adaptation performance since his return to Taiwan. This means he has been getting up at 3 every morning to practice for the performance. He says that he has actually found a close connection between the sutra content and his experiences in Jordan. Here's more.
When you see the children's hands, their feet, their wounds, and their fear, it's no longer something distant, but something you can empathize with.
Sending help and love to Jordan at the end of 2016, Superintendent Jian Xiu-xin will also be participating in a sutra adaptation as Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital celebrates its 10th anniversary in January 2017.
Not only do we get to help Syrian refugees, Tzu Chi volunteers also grow in wisdom as we witness others suffering and cherish our own blessings.
Superintendent Jian then seizes the early mornings to practice for sutra adaptation.
I'm 60% satisfied. I can't practice 3 times every day, but I do get up at 3 in the morning and practice the finale and drum performance for an hour.
Practicing diligently in spite of his busy schedule, Superintendent Jen is ready to make the grand vow.
We hope to turn the pitiful feelings we often see in Taiwan into a grand vow to serve. I think we can achieve that through the sutra adaptation.
Prior to the New Year's arrival, Tzu Chi volunteers in Japan held a cooking class to teach mothers how to prepare vegetarian meals for the holiday. Let's see how their classes went and how the vegetarian dishes turned out.
All sorts of vegetables are being put into a big pot for cooking. This is a cooking class held at the Tzu Chi Japan chapter on how to prepare vegetarian New Year dishes.
This dish is a stew which includes roots of many vegetables. It symbolizes that in the coming year, the whole family will be harmonious and stay together. As the end of the year is coming, many housewives will become very busy, so a dish like this one can be prepared easily.
In Japan, many New Year dishes include fish and meat. But in this Tzu Chi cooking class, people learn how to make dishes without meat. Even the desserts are very healthy.
We pound the cooked sweet yams into mush, add sugar, mirin, and also the juice from canned chestnuts. Then we cook them in a pot and keep stirring them until the water evaporates and it becomes like mush. Then we chop the chestnuts into pieces and mix them together.
I always order New Year dishes in the department store every year, and they can run from $850 to $1,700. I thought about making them this year, so I brought my husband along to this class.
These mothers come together to learn about making tasty vegetarian dishes and supporting vegetarianism.
In the weeks before the Tzu Chi Japan chapter's celebration of its 25th anniversary, 108 stage volunteers have been preparing to put on an adaptation of a Buddhist sutra for the upcoming year and blessing ceremony. Among the group, 9 Japanese volunteers have overcome many challenges to learn the sutra content and the moves. Here's more.
108 stage volunteers are preparing for their performance in the upcoming year and blessing ceremony. Among them, 9 volunteers are Japanese.
Since many Japanese friends do not understand the contents of the sutra, we translated the sutra and added Japanese subtitles to our video to teach the moves. We uploaded the video online so they can practice at home anytime.
Even after overcoming the language barrier, this 74-year-old stage volunteer still has to overcome the challenges of learning the moves.
It looks simple, but I have difficulties distinguishing between left and right. I can't react that quickly, so I kept pausing the video to confirm whether it's the left or right side.
Another volunteer in the drum performance faces a different kind of challenge.
The most important key in drum performance is the beat and rhythm. However, I can't grasp the timing, and that is the most difficult part for the 9 of us.
Despite the challenges, other stage volunteers vow to do their part on the Bodhisattva path.
I am deeply touched by everyone's dedication to the performance. I'm especially touched when everyone works with one heart. I will continue to work hard at the Tzu Chi Japan chapter.
After 6 months of practice, stage volunteers are ready to share Dharma principles and wholesome teachings with the public through their performance.
To celebrate the 25th anniversary of Tzu Chi in Japan and the Foundation's 50 years of social welfare contributions across the world, Tzu Chi volunteers in Japan held a blessing ceremony. To accommodate more people than originally expected, the venue had to be moved to Yotsuya Kumin Hall, which is close to the Shinjuku Kyoen National Garden. Among the special guests at the event was Taiwanese representative to Japan, Guo Zhongxi, who offered blessings for Tzu Chi in the new year. Here's more from the event.
A drumming performance tugs at the hearts of the audience as the year-end blessing ceremony to celebrate 25 years of Tzu Chi in Japan begins. Over 108 on-stage volunteers unite their movements to put on the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings adaptation in celebration of Tzu Chi's 50th anniversary.
I saw how the Japanese Tzu Chi volunteers and the Taiwanese Tzu Chi volunteers have worked together so hard to help the less fortunate. That spirit of togetherness really moved me. I want to learn more from the organization.
In the past 50 years, Tzu Chi has traveled the globe over and left its imprints in many places. Stories of Tzu Chi's good deeds were recounted for the audience and inspired them in turn to also do good.
Thinking back on the video of the past year still makes me cry. Attending the year-end blessing ceremony today has helped me reflect on how to change my life in the upcoming year.
Master Zhen Yan's teaching can be used in one's everyday life. It's the beginning of a new year, and through her wisdom, the Dharma has left a deep impression in my heart. I'm very touched.
The Taiwanese representative to Japan also came to join in the blessing event.
感恩啦，因为慈济在世界各地的，等于是协助政府所不足的地
I'm
方。
grateful to Tzu Chi as they have helped the government to go to places and do things the government cannot do. Tzu Chi has done well in helping to bring about peace on earth, and we hope Tzu Chi can grow and prosper more in the years to come.
也祝福慈济呢，今后更加蓬勃发展，日月与日月同光。
As each audience member lights up their lamp and prays for blessings for the world, it is hoped that in the days ahead, Tzu Chi will continue to light up forgotten corners in Japan and help all those in need.
In Taiwan, nearly 600 inmates at Hualien Prison recently performed their sutra adaptation of the Water of Repentance. Through their participation, many inmates have learned about Dharma teachings and repented for their past mistakes. Let's take a look at the successful performance.
The sand picture presents how our strength of love can diminish due to poisons such as desire, anger, and ignorance. To take part in a sutra adaptation performance, an inmate at Hualien Prison even delayed her parole release to seize the opportunity to spread love to other inmates.
I have been imprisoned because of attempted murder. After learning about cause and effect in the study group, I now fear consequences of such action.
The Water Repentance Sutra adaptation teaches about causal relationship. In the beginning of 2017, nearly 600 inmates take part in the performance, turning the prison into a stately cultivation ground.
There are many mishaps and dissatisfaction in life. Hopefully, our inmates will move forward in spite of their past mistakes.
Among the inmates is one who's serving a 60-year sentence. He feels remorseful when mentioning his relatives and loved ones.
Serving such a long sentence, I didn't have the time or mood to take part in the sutra adaptation. However, Sister Tsai told me when there is a spark, new life can start. After I joined the sutra adaptation, I started saying, "Mom, I love you," when I called her. I never said that before.
Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for the inmates here since 2013. Therefore, the inmates are willing to participate in the sutra adaptation with sincerity as a way to repay Tzu Chi.
We hope their minds will be purified through participating in the sutra adaptation, so they can change for the better and adapt to society upon their release from the prison.
Participating inmates not only take the Dharma to heart, but also vow to become people who help others and contribute to society.
Although it is said that people can continue to learn new things at any age, it is often easier said than done. We would like to introduce you to Li Luo Guiyin, who at 72 years of age has to take care of an old friend who suffered from a stroke and who has been living at her home for 30 years. Despite the hardship of caring for someone else, she still has been able to find the time to learn how to use the computer and how to paint. On top of all that, she is also working at a parking lot. She says there is no end to learning, and that learning is what makes life meaningful. Here's more.
These paintings are very colorful. 72-year-old Li Luo Guiyun is holding her painting exhibition and showing off her work to her friends.
一般他们画这个松都会来面那有洞啊，有洞都不行啊。
颜色层次
啊，
你这有画几摆呀？
有啊，有100个啊，真的有100个了。
When she was young, she had a hard life, being some 23 years younger than her husband. After they were married, she worked to supplement the family income.
I'm not well educated, so I can only do cleaning work. I couldn't do other work. In the hotel, I made beds and cleaned rooms every day.
It was perhaps her diligence that she received the chance to change her life.
I did the cleaning work very thoroughly, which earned me recognition from other people. So I would teach at the hospitality and tourism school. Otherwise, why would they hire someone without an education to teach there?
When she was 55 years old, her husband died from cancer, but her load didn't get lighter. As an orphan who has been staying at their home for 30 years had a stroke, and she began looking after him.
Because he had a stroke, he was sent to the hospital, but he didn't have any family members looking after him at the hospital. The hospital wanted me to sign for him, so I did as his family member. After he was discharged, I brought him home, and now I help him brush his teeth, I bathe him, I shave him, and also cook for him.
Although she is old and she needs people taking care of her, she doesn't want to be her daughter's burden.
In the beginning, I didn't know how to use this. My granddaughter didn't teach me this. She taught me typing.
She's been learning how to use the computer. She now works at a parking lot.
Being old in the final stages of life, we must stay happy and don't think about being old means being useless. We must keep on learning and never retire and do good deeds. Then our life will be meaningful.
Tzu Chi volunteer Huang Mengli was once very bright and open, but the death of her husband and her youngest son caused her serious depression. Gradually, with the company of her family and Tzu Chi volunteers, she began to go out and volunteer, and every morning she walks to Xintai Tzu Chi Liaison Office to listen to the Master's teachings. Let's see how she has been able to uplift her spirit despite the pain of her loss.
Tzu Chi volunteer Huang Mengli always rises before dawn.
I sometimes wake up at 3:30 or 3 a.m. to listen to the Master's sermon. Then I will feel better and won't imagine things.
In a period of 4 years, her husband and youngest son passed away. It tormented her for a while.
During that period, Mom was very depressed. Whenever I came home from work, I always saw her sitting there alone crying.
To help his mother walk out from her grief, Zhuang Wensheng supported her to attend Tzu Chi's events. The volunteers cared about her often.
If I went to volunteer, my son Wensheng or my daughter-in-law would give me a lift. They wouldn't let me take the bus.
She is now 76 years old. She first knew nothing about computers, but for the past 10 years, she has been in charge of the sound system for the Master's sermon in the office.
I simply learned it. If I couldn't get it to work, I'd call for help. At first, I didn't understand the Master's teaching on the Lotus Sutra, but I would listen again. Whenever I'm in a bad mood, I know I can change it. And I know whether I'm worrying or happy, I still have to live that day. I might as well stay happy for the day.
较快乐一点。
Harmony now makes meals for her family every day, and also cherishes her time with them.
Next, we will check out the year-end blessing ceremony at the Tzu Chi Guandu grounds. In addition to the volunteer certification ceremony, there was also calligraphy and tea for participants to enjoy. We will also meet some of the volunteers working behind the scenes in the kitchen, working hard to provide everyone with healthy and delicious vegetarian meals. Here's more. Zheng Yixiang has been working as a soldier and also training to become a volunteer. After all his hard work, he received his certification at the year-end blessing ceremony. His father helps him with his necktie as the son prepares to join the father on the Bodhisattva path.
This is really only the beginning. I'm grateful to my mother and father for being by my side.
This is the year-end blessing ceremony at the Tzu Chi Guandu grounds. The environment is lively. Even behind the scenes, the support staff in the kitchen are full of smiles as they prepare delicious meals for the occasion.
I'm just here as a supporting character. Others play the lead roles. We all see our own responsibilities.
This is volunteer Wu Su Li, who is helping prepare tea. She has been coming to the kitchen regularly at 3 in the morning to help prepare soy milk for today's event. Although she recently underwent vascular occlusion surgery, her heart is healthy and eager to serve.
Oh, helping out is not a burden at all. You know, people often forget to drink enough water. As I've been here giving tea to other people, I actually forgot to drink something myself.
Some volunteers outside have organized a calligraphy area. One volunteer, Lin Feng Qiao from Linkou, impresses everyone with her beautiful spring couplets. People call her the Jewel of Linkou.
Saying someone is a jewel doesn't mean it's very precious, but a jewel should also be useful. This is something useful and something easy to use. It's convenient and it comes and goes easily.
Volunteers in Luzhou are proudly working hard to prepare 3,000 rice balls. The day before, they were worried about completing the work, but the next day, 50 volunteers arrived to help with the task.
Making these vegetarian rice bowls, we added a few different ingredients, like some vegetarian chicken alternative, along with sesame oil and ginger.
With everyone of a single heart and a single mind, both inside and outside the event, the feeling of love and warmth will continue to grow well into the new year. For the 111 Ethical Eating Day in Taiwan, a number of schools in Taidong joined the event, with students enthusiastically supporting the effort. Volunteers made visits to the schools to promote vegetarian food and environmental awareness. We'll leave you with some images of the day at the end of the program. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.